Where did Earth's water come from? Last night, as I was getting ready to go to bed, I realized that I was thirsty. I went to get a glass of water, and as I took a sip, a thought hit me. Where did all this water actually come from? We have vast oceans, rivers, lakes, glaciers, and even water deep underground. But then I remember that when the Earth first formed, it was nothing like this. It was a giant molten ball of lava, way too hot for liquid water to exist. So, how did we go from that fiery, lifeless rock to the water covered planet we know today? For a long time, scientists have tried to figure out exactly how Earth ended up with so much water. What we do know is that Earth didn't start out this way. When the planet was forming around 4.5 billion years ago, temperatures were extreme, and any water that might have been there in the beginning would have boiled away into space. The planet was a chaotic mess, volcanoes erupting, asteroids smashing into the surface, and a thick atmosphere filled with gases like carbon dioxide and nitrogen. And yet, somehow, within the first few hundred million years of Earth's history, there was liquid water. Evidence from ancient minerals called zircons suggests that liquid water was present as early as 4.3 billion years ago. That means water must have arrived incredibly early in Earth's formation, either brought here or released from within the planet itself. One of the main theories is that water was actually here from the very beginning, locked away inside the rocks that formed Earth. When our planet was coming together from space dust and debris, some of those building blocks contained hydrogen and oxygen, the two elements that make up water. As the planet cooled and volcanic activity increased, water vapor was released into the atmosphere, eventually condensing and falling as rain, forming the first oceans. In this theory, Earth never really got water. It just had it all along, hidden inside its rocks, waiting to be released. But not everyone is convinced. Another major theory is that water came from space, carried by asteroids and comets that crashed into Earth. Around 4 billion years ago, during a period known as the Late Heavy Bombardment, the inner solar system was pummeled by massive amounts of debris left over from planet formation. Some of these objects contained ice or hydrated minerals, which upon impact would have released water into Earth's surface. The question is, did most of Earth's water come from comets or asteroids? Comets are rich in ice, so they seem like a good candidate. But when scientists studied the chemical composition of comet water, they found that it doesn't exactly match the waters on Earth's oceans. Instead, many scientists now believe that asteroids, specifically water-rich carbonaceous chondrites, were a more likely source, since their water composition is much closer matched to what we find on Earth. There is also a third possibility. Maybe Earth's water came from the Sun's birth cloud itself. The solar system formed from a vast nebula of gas and dust, and some of the water molecules in that cloud might have been trapped in Earth's minerals as the planet formed. Over time, this water could have been released from deep within the Earth's mantle through volcanic activity, gradually creating the oceans we see today. This idea explains why there is still a massive amount of water locked inside the Earth's interior, possibly even more than what exists on the surface. But here's where things get even weirder. Some scientists believe that at least some of the Earth's water might be older than the planet itself. How is that even possible? Well, water isn't unique to Earth. It's actually one of the most common molecules in the universe. In deep space, clouds of gas and dust contain frozen water, and this water can end up in asteroids and comets that later crash into planets. Some of the hydrogen in Earth's water contains a heavy isotope called deuterium. And studies of this deuterium to hydrogen ratio suggest that at least some of the water we drink today could have originated in interstellar space, long before the solar system even existed. That means when you take a sip of water, you might be drinking molecules that formed billions of years ago, before the Earth, before the Sun, maybe even before our solar system was a thing. So, where did Earth's water come from? The answer is probably a mix of all three theories. Some water may have been here from the start, hidden in the rocks of our forming planet. Some may have arrived later, carried by asteroids that bombarded the young Earth, and some molecules of water may be as old as the universe itself, carried through time and space before finally settling here. Got a weird midnight question keeping you up at night? Drop it in the comments and maybe it'll be featured in a future episode. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep wondering. I'm Mari, and this is Midnight Question.